Hello, I'm Dave Carr. I've been a parishioner of St Mary's, Warwick, ever since I was transferred here with education in the state system to Murray's Bridge back in 1980. Before then, I grew up in St Mary's in Charleville. My parents, both big families of 7 kids, Irish Catholics. I attended Latin Masses 65 years ago, but on coming to Warwick, I met some really nice guys through one of the football teams and collegians. We had our drinks at the Langham Hotel, but a lot of those guys were practicing Catholics. Those times, I think it was more a friendship base. I think when I was living in a flat for about 3 years, I didn't probably attend Mass as a practicing Catholic, but good mates of mine were practicing Catholics, and I think I developed a love of the Catholic faith through those guys. Back in '82, I was married to Sally, my wife, who was a nurse, who still is a nurse. We had our 4 children here in Warwick. They all attended St Mary's, a primary school at the lower and then up the upper back in the days. And then Assumption. My 2 girls went to Stewart Home boarding because my wife Sally was a boarder at Loretto. This church was very inspirational for me as I developed education with my children. I would be coming to Mass more often. People here were very friendly. There were a lot of changes through those times through the 80s into the 90s. And I always think coming to this church, which we are celebrating in a month, to be 100 years old, is just an incredible building. So I have been involved with Jumpers in July, where we open up the church, the Celtic festivals, we open up the church for parishioners who have been baptised here, married here, and families that have had funerals through here. I'm very inspired. I try now to come 2 or 3 times a week to Mass, and still feel that I'm probably not worthy, but I think it's good for my heart and soul. My experience of this building, this church building, it's just an incredible building to have in a small town. Many tourists that come in different festivals in Warwick are in awe of why this large building is in a little small town. They are very impressed by the architecture, the Gothic architecture. In the history of the church, going back nearly 100 years now, within a month, my thinking would be the effort that the builders would have put into building this church in the 6 years they had, from 1920 to 1926. The sacrifices the families would have made to put it together, the giving of the parishioners at the time to put it together, and ever since then too, the last 80, 90 years of faithfulness of the church. I find now that there's very many different cultures coming to the church, different from 30, 40 years ago when I first came. And I'm very impressed by the numbers that come, especially on Sunday morning, to the church. But the building is just incredible. And I must say Father Franco is putting a lot of effort into maintaining the church for future years. I think it's will hold for hopefully another 200 or 300 years. I think the most important thing of just having this building is the welcome feel. You come into it and there's certainly a peace. Different parishioners have different ways of prayer, but you really feel a peace and a faith and an awe of inspiration when you do celebrate Mass and talk to people within the building. Very impressed by the entrance, the history of the church, and the upkeep of the whole church. And I would like to, thank everybody involved to keep it going.